Guys, my voice is not going to be as soothing as that song, unfortunately, but it does mean the start of some StarCraft. Just going to find out our first map here. It looks as though it's Overgrowth for IvD Gaming versus Team Ascension. Hello, how are you all doing? Hosting up Overgrowth right now as we're going to get into Gamja versus Bogus here, aka Kampka, for our first map of this best of 7 all-kill, our second SC2 Improved Team League America series of the evening. Hello guys, how are you all doing? Let us know if you're out there in the chat. Do come say hello. We're inviting our players right now. If you were here earlier for Root versus Integrity, then thank you for sticking around, and if you're just joining us, then welcome to SC2 Improved Team League America. We are inviting our players in and our two-player team managers getting ready to start up here, and again, this is going to be another best of 7 all kill. Let's very quickly show you guys the current scenario in terms of these two teams in the groups. So these two teams are in Group B, and I mean, an important match for both teams right here is Team Ascension. They're currently 4-2. You can see they're really battling for this kind of third place playoff spot. If they can cause an upset against IvD, who are currently 6-0, then they will be able to. That's going to be a huge victory for them, because they're going to have much easier matches in the last 2 weeks, and they really could make it into this kind of top 3 spot to make the playoffs. IvD, I mean, a win here tonight, just as Root was earlier. If they get a win tonight, then they will have secured their place in the playoffs, and you know, there's no way they will not make it there. So we already have Root confirmed into the playoffs. IvD with the opportunity to secure themselves a place here tonight as well. Good luck, have fun being called by the managers. Just waiting for Bogus to say he is ready. Gamja says go go. Good luck, have fun from Bogus, and we will have our game beginning here on Overgrowth for TVZ for map number 1 of this best of 7 all-kill series between Team Ascension A Team and IvD Gaming. Again, guys, welcome. How is everyone doing? Who are you all cheering on tonight? Do let us know. We would love to know who you guys are cheering on, who you guys are supporting. So do get in the chat, do say hello, do let us know who you are cheering on today, and hopefully you guys will enjoy the show, because game number 1 is right on its way. We're on the loading screen right now, so as we load into this, we will take off the overlay, set up the scoreboard, and to introduce our starting players for IvD Gaming and Team Ascension. In the lower left hand corner for IvD is the blue Zerg player Gamja. I think this is the first time he's actually had the opportunity to play in SC2ITL America, simply because usually they send out Apocalypse first, and Apocalypse just all kills. So Gamja, I think his first opportunity here to show himself in SC2ITL America. His opponent in the upper right hand corner from Team Ascension, it's Bogus, also known as Kampka. We will call him Bogus for the simplicity of this game, because Bogus is what I'm going to keep calling him, accidentally or whatever, because it's on the scoreboard. So that's the scenario, guys. These are our players, and this is game number 1 of IvD versus Ascension. Again, hello, how are you all doing? Hope you're ready for some more SC2ITL America action, and yeah, very excited to get into this. Very excited to see how it goes. Earlier today we had a fantastic series between Root Gaming and Integrity, where Root Gaming took for 4-2 victory. They hence propelled themselves into a confirmed place in the playoffs for next season, for this season. So a great performance from Root earlier today, a great series and fantastic viewership as well. We actually broke the SC2 Improved Team League America viewership records. We had over 600 viewers at certain points of the series, so it was absolutely insane. And I mean, the match truly worthy of it as well. Some great games played out by all of the players who took part. So Gamja here, he does go for a little bit of a drone scout just out to the tower, making sure nothing's set in the middle of the map. While and does actually come back in time to drop that hatchery on the low ground as a hatchery first, with that first drone of his. Actually going into a gas right now as well before his spawning pool. Back over here for Bogus, he is just going for a very standard rebirth expand to get himself into this game and his team into this series. And I wonder what the speedy gas is from Gamja. I mean, it could just be because he wants a very fast Zergling speed. But of course, there's always going to be that possibility here where Gamja is going to be like, well, maybe I just try something a little bit tricky, you know, something you're maybe not quite expecting. Maybe I go for some very fast roaches, or, you know, something like that. And that's always going to be a possibility here with a speed this fast. Even just speed this fast could be a bit of a surprise. 20 lings could force a cancel on this low ground command center. you know, little things like this could, not necessarily force cancel, but they could definitely kind of break through. So, you know, break through before wall is up and cause some chaos. So, you know, there's a lot of possibilities here for Gamja with this early speed. 4 lings on the way, 6 lings now on the way, 2 queens as well. So this initial Reaper shouldn't be able to do all too much, depending on the micro which comes out of Gamja. We'll see what Kamka is able to get done with this. I keep saying Kamka, even though I said I was say Bogus, so I need to kind of stick with one of them. I'll say Bogus because that's what's on the screen and people just join and may get confused. So Bogus here coming around and going for a little bit of damage on one of these drones, but the Zerglings are in plenty of time and getting some decent few hits off on this Reaper, forcing it back away. Only the single Reaper to start things off here today for Bogus, as he is now going to go into some Marine production, his factory to follow up, and it will be Reactor Hellions in the long run here, as this Reaper comes down on, tries to get a little bit of damage done on this hatchery, but to no avail. You know, nothing really he can, you know, actually do here in the end. And he will just back off as the Queen continues to inject, and Gamja gets set up on his 2 bases. Now, he has pulled out of gas at 100, so he's just going to stop with the Zergling speed. And, I mean, one thing this could just be for, if he isn't going to be aggressive with it at all, it will just give him a lot of, you know, he'll give him a lot of potential to turn away the early Hellions. You know, Bogus, if he overcommits just for a couple of seconds, and you know, Gamja has some lings ready to pounce, then we could definitely see a little bit of damage. You know, them Hellions taken down, the map control gone for the Terran, and things can get quite dicey quite quickly for the Terran player from there. These first 6 lings there, about half Zergling speed, they could get a little bit of damage done. Reaper and Marines kind of spread all over the place, so these Zerglings are going to come in here, and they're actually going to, yeah, they're definitely going to get these first 2 couple of Marines, and they're going to get these SCVs on the low ground as well. That's going to be 1, 2 SCVs. Now the Hellions pop up, so overall I think that's probably a worthwhile trade to start off this game. A couple of SCVs killed. Medevac now on the way though. Bogus going to look as though he wants to drop into the main base of his opponent with these Hellions, I assume. So we'll see how that evolves here, as Gamja has his 3rd base on the way as well. Now, this kind of medevac play can lend itself to lead up into Hellbats as well, because you're going to have already a medevac out, so you can give some kind of follow-up push quite nicely. But in general, you'll just have this starboard down. You can probably see a Viking coming out at some point as well to clean up the kind of drop paths. A Bane Nest already come down here for Gamja. He is feeling a little bit of pressure here, maybe, as though something may be on its way. And actually, look at this. Bogus just loads up the Marines in this medevac. He's actually going to move across the map with just the Hellions on their own. Viking now on the way as well. That Bane Nest about halfway done. Will it be useful here? I'm not really sure if he needs it. But what he does need is some units. Right now he only has 3 queens. Out the front, a 4th queen coming to join up, the 4th queen from the natural. These Hellions are going to turn away, but well, I'm not too sure about dropping here. He's going to just try and fight these queens. I'm not too sure if that's the best of decisions. I mean, the queens on creep are quite fast. He's actually leaving some of his units behind as these Marines come forward. The Hellions are actually running back into the natural mineral line though, so this is absolutely huge amounts of damage being done here by Bogus to start us off. And Gamja is losing a lot of workers here already, and these, I mean, these Hellions are not going to stop. They're going to go straight up into this main base as well. More Zerglings about to pop out, so he's only got a limited amount of time to do a little bit more with this. If he wants to get a little bit more done, he's going to lose another, he's going to do some more lingers here. This medevac's going to go down to these queens, but these Hellions will still be chasing Zerglings and drones around in this main base, and the drones are all going back to mine right now, but this Hellion's still doing a little bit of damage, and this is some pretty serious damage. 27, 28 workers killed altogether by Bogus. Fantastic start to him in this game. And he starts up a 3rd CC behind this. He's got Stim starting up. He's got some extra barracks. He's made a couple more Hellions. You know, I think maybe just because he's thrown them all away, he feels like he may need them just to get a bit more map control back. He currently sits at a 13 worker lead, and with double mule already out and a triple mule on the way, this is fantastic for him altogether here. Gamja will be able to just drone up very heavily behind this, knowing, you know, he killed off all the units at least, so there's not going to be a follow-up attack for quite some time. Starts up his lair. He's already got his 1-1 on the way. That's something which, you know, is a little way off for Bogus. He hasn't got engineering bases down just yet. In fact, there they are behind the natural mineral line. So they're on the way. He will be a little behind in terms of them upgrades. Nothing too significant, though. Nothing too detrimental to his overall game plan here, I would imagine. As more and more Hellions continue to come out here, will we just see, I mean, we could still see like an armory come down, and we could see with Stim finishing just a Marine Hellbat push with some medevacs, because I mean the reactor's going to finish up on the medevac on the starport very soon, and double medevac production could definitely become a possibility here. A couple of reactors coming down, and in fact a lot of reactors coming down all over the place on a lot of different buildings. 3 of them on these barracks, as a 5th barracks is now added on as well. Bogus very safe behind this wall. Already Gamja has caught up in terms of drones. He's on 46 drones against 50 SCVs right now. His lair's finishing, so we're going to start seeing some kind of tech out of him, presumably. Most likely centrifugal hooks to begin, and maybe even a Spire being dropped down as well to head into that kind of classic Mutaling Bane composition. A lot of queens over here with a lot of transfuses available will make it hard to do. Will make it hard for these Hellions to kind of fight them. However, the Hellions are just going to run straight by, and they're going to go for drones here straight away once again. Bane's coming in though. The first Bane hits on that. Great. Drones coming back to actually fight. The split from Gamcha is pretty darn good. And these queens should be able to clean up the rest of this here. I don't think that went as well as Bogus was hoping for. Only 4 extra worker kills in addition to those earlier damage done. Some more Marines going to get picked off as well, and Bogus just losing a little bit too much here. And I mean, that was a real throwaway because that was a ton of minerals. Like, if you imagine he has an armory coming up very soon, so he can start 2-2. He has them 4 extra Marines and 2 medevacs about to pop out. That would have been such a scary push. 60, like it would be what? 4 Hellions, plus he's just lost about 6, so he'd be 10 Hellbats, a bunch of Marines with Stim, 1-1, Medevacs. There is no way Jan Gamja would actually hold that off, but the way he went with it, it was, it just didn't work out so well for him in the end. I think he would have been better just going for some kind of later attack here, keeping the units alive, ready for that. I mean, he's still building up towards this. I mean, with the armory on the way, Hellbats will be on the game very, very soon. He lands his 3rd base in a position which suggests he wants to continue pushing forward throughout the game. Some more Banelings begin to move in for Gamja. Not in the best positions, on the edge of the creep, not in the safest position, but it looks as though he will get away with it, as Bogus does begin to creep forward onto the creep as well. A Scantic start cleaning some of this up would be nice, but he is just tiptoeing on the edge right now. Some Lings cooking as though they might try to go for a little bit of a counterattack, as we do see this first Marines starting to stim in here. Medevacs are here as well. A lot of Banelings actually going down on these Hellions right now. Run by in this 3rd base will do a lot of damage, but at the same time this Terran army is going to scan, it's going to clean up some creep, and well, Banelings are moving in. SCVs will have to just retreat from here, and reinforcements of Bogus need to start heading across the map, as you know, he needs to get them reinforcements over here as fast as he can. Armory has now finished 2-2 yet to start, so this is the longer he forgets to start 2-2, the more of an advantage Gamja will take in terms of upgrades. His 2-2 is about 60% of the way done, as these Lings are still being annoying over here. It looks as though the Banelings are moving forward though, cleaning up this little bit of an army for Bogus, which was on his opponent's side of the map, but here come reinforcements, and with reinforcements it's actually going to be very hard, I think, for Gamja kind of continue fighting, because there's not that many Banelings here. He doesn't actually have any Banelings in production. You know, he doesn't have any Mutalisks to really chase down the Medevacs. He does have a Spire, but no Mutalisks on the map, and not in production because he just can't afford them just yet. He's losing a Queen or 2 here as well. Some more Banelings on the way in. This time there's going to be Hellbats in this army. 4 Medevacs now in the sky to help out, and these Marines need to come in and help as fast as they can. Some Banelings are already going off on some of these Hellbats. A few Banelings still left over as well, as we see Bogus continuing to push on forward. He's looking to go for maybe a victory right here as these Banelings come forward once again. Pretty good connections. It will be enough to clean up. Reinforcements still just not quite here in time for Bogus, and he gets cleaned up here. 2-2 will have been a big factor in that fight as well. I mean, we're talking about 2-2 on the Zerg player and still only 1-1 on our Terran, and +2 weapons only just starting, no sign of +2 armor. So this is not so great still for our Terran player in terms of the upgrades in this game. He's going to keep on pushing once again here. Only 2-3 Mutalisks on the way out, so that Mutalisk count not being allowed to get too high. The creep spread is all the way across the middle of this map though, and that's going to make, first of all, this drop spotted. I mean, it's going to be spotted immediately here, as we actually have some Zerglings in this mineral line once again. Gamja is slowly racking up the workers killed tab on his own side of the map as well, and Mutas pick off this dropship very, very easy. Only a single Marine gets out. That was a little bit sloppy from Bogus and all honesty to fly that across the creep. I'd been like to see him maybe just unload that drop and actually just use some scans to clean up this creep, because it will be an issue for him throughout this game. You know, even if he's attacking most of the time down here, he needs to shut off this potential for the Zerg to just get up here quickly with vision and to come in and surround. Hellbat's moving in right now, and it looks as though we're going to see another fight in a few moments. A lot more Banelings coming in once again. Meter count still not that high, still not as scary, kind of the you know, kind of because of that early game start that we saw. Mutants still flying around though, and trying to just pick off whatever they can. A few Marines sitting a little bit far in the back. Now they come forward with Muto 2 going down already, and these Medevacs maybe need to start backing away. Marines getting cleaned up, and again upgrades being too much of a difference right now, and Bogus just not quite having enough Marines on the ground. And again, just retreating here. He's trying to get away from these mutalisks, and he will. Now he's going to scan once again. He's going to take down another of these active creep teams, but this is the real location he needs to be kind of cleaning up in. Gamja does have this 4th base established to this left-hand side, and he's not quite mining from it just yet, but it is up and ready to run. We've got 4 added in here for Bogus. He's 20 supply down right now. His 2-2's about to finish, and I mean, he really shouldn't be fighting before his 2-2 is done, but he doesn't have a choice because he's come a little bit too far. His medevac's completely out of position to heal any of these Marines. The 4 goes down almost immediately. The medevac's going to start taking damage from the mutants in the sky, and Gamja's going to chase down these medevacs, and well, he's actually going to go into the 3rd base once again as well, completely shutting down his economy. And Bogus has never really been able to keep that 3rd base up alive and safe here. He picks up well, 1 medevac with everything in it, just goes down immediately, and this is not good at all as these mutants, these lings come forward. They pick up another 4. Gamja's just going to retreat here. He's actually killed off this 3rd base. We have a base building over at the gold expansion, but Gamja's going to fall back. He's just going to wait, get some balins up, make sure he's safe, get ready to attack again. And it looks as though Bogus, aka Kamka here, is out of game number 1. It's going to take a bit of a miracle to come back here in this game. I mean, 70 supply down. He's only even on upgrades. He doesn't really have any bases left. I mean, he's got a base finishing at the gold, which he's very fortunate that Gamja hasn't spotted just yet. But I mean, what else can you do? It was a great start from Bogus, but he just hasn't really had the decision making, the correct decisions throughout the game to actually finish it off. And I mean, I liked what he tried to do. He tried, you know, he maybe committed a little bit too much with another Hellion run by. That hurt him a little bit. It allowed Gamja to get back into the game a bit. He still wasn't out of it. He waited a long time before starting +2. That maybe hurt him a little bit as well, because it made a lot of the fights in favoured in Gamja's favour, and just little things like that have really added up to altogether mean that overall here, Bogus is in a little bit of trouble now. He is seeming to stabilise just a little bit, especially as he gets this 3rd base mining, transfers some units over here. Looks as though we're going to have a big Baneland run by towards the natural though, and this could spell trouble for Bogus. As Gamja at the same time is also going to leap towards this gold base. He actually doesn't want to go up the ramp here, so he doesn't bother with that. And now here we go, the Baneland's coming forward here. What will they spot? They're actually just going to go straight for. Are they going to go into the main? Or are they going to cut off the... What are they going to cut off? They're actually just going to go for these SCVs in the natural, and they're all going to go down at the same time. We've actually had a bit of a fight over here, in fact a big fight over here, in which Gamja's just cleaned up altogether. And I mean, overall just everything has died, and it doesn't look as though there's been that much trouble for Gamja. Cleaning up here with the mutalisks, GG is called, and Gamja takes game number 1 here for IvD Gaming. Surprise? Well, I suppose not. This team has only dropped 2 maps in the entirety of the SC2 Improved Team League America season so far. I mean, they've played some of the best teams in their division, in their group already as well, like Ascension. If they can take even a map here, they'll have done just as well as any other team against against IvD. So it's well, it's kind of it's one of them things. It's kind of hitting your head against the brick wall, right? Like, you kind of look at this and you're like, well, we're gonna try and we're gonna try and do our best. Bogus had a great opportunity to take down Gamja, but he just didn't have the end game, the mid game, the end game to finish it off. He was so far ahead, says Qualia SC. He really was as well. He had so many advantages, and again, he just couldn't close them out there in the game. And unfortunately, you need to be able to close out your advantages here in SC2. Guys, we're going to go into game number 2 just after this quick commercial break. When we come back, it'll be game number 2 between Team Ascension and IvD Gaming. I'll let you guys know the players in the chat as soon as I can, and enjoy the music until we're back. Alright guys, welcome back to SC2ITL America. We're going into now a ZVP as Melancholy comes out on King Sejong Station to go up against Gamja. So we've already actually seen one ZVP on this map today. It's pretty horrible. In Root Gaming versus Integrity Gaming, we saw Root Fenner go for pretty much just mass swarm hosts on King Sejong Station, and it was really fun to watch. Hopefully we don't see something similar to that in this game here, as we do load on up into a PvZ for Team Ascension versus IvD Gaming, game number 2. So let's just introduce our players here, guys, to get started. And put a point on the scoreboard for this man in the upper left hand corner, taking his team 1-0 up so far in this series. In the blue, it's the Zerg player IvD's Gaming's Gamja. And in the lower right hand corner, the purple Protoss player from Team Ascension, it's Melancholy. Good luck is called from him from down here in the bottom right. So guys, while we have a little bit of a ZVP start, generally ZVP doesn't have too much happening in it for the early stages of the game. So while we have a little bit of a slow start here, I will take the opportunity to say once again hello and welcome to the stream. How are you all doing? And if you're enjoying the stream, do consider hitting the follow button on Twitch TV so you can see when we go live again with games in the future. We've actually just had Magviews and just hit the follow button just 1 minute ago, so thank you very much for the follow. You know, when you follow, it shows that you enjoy the content, shows that you support us, and again, it just means you've got a greater chance of catching us when we're live again in the future, so you can you know, come back and enjoy the stream a little bit more once again. So so yeah, again, it's going to be a pretty slow start as you have just a gate expand here, it would seem, from our Protoss players. It doesn't look as though much is going to be happening in the early stages here, so unless this is going to be a proxy hatchery from Gamja. So you know, while I've got a couple of moments, I'd like to once again just mention our sponsors. We've got two main sponsors of the SC2 Improved Team League America. Zowie Gear is our peripheral sponsor, and you can check them out at zowiegear.com. I mean, if you don't know their brand already, they sponsor StarTale. They're pretty awesome, and I mean, the Zowie Miko is a very popular and very affordable mouse, and a lot of people do like it. And the Zowie Celeritas becoming a more and more popular keyboard as well. And the mouse bungees are, again, some of the coolest mouse bungees I've ever seen, at least. So yeah, do check out Zowie Gear if you're looking for new peripherals, and you appreciate their support of SC2ITL America. And our other sponsor as well, Let's Kung Fu. Basically, Let's Kung Fu is just some guy who absolutely loves esports. He organises some stuff in the After Hours Gaming League. He casts a bit on his YouTube channel, and all he asks from sponsoring us, and he sponsors us quite a bit. He sponsors a ton of money. All he asks is that you guys go check out his YouTube channel at youtube.com/filthyrake, FILTHYRAKE, and you know, go give him a couple of views. Go, you know, just check out his videos. If you feel like it, leave a comment, say thanks very much for supporting SC2ITL America. We appreciate it, etc., etc. It takes you guys a minute or so to do it, but you know, it's greatly appreciated if you do so. That's youtube.com/filthyrake, FILTHYRAKE. So we're in this game, and we've actually had a free hatch before pool out of Gamja, so that explains his early drone scout across the map. I'm going to really just burst out the economy right at the start of the game. Melancholy has spotted this straight away with his scouting probe. Consider this is a kind of a gate expand here. He does have the opportunity to get aggressive if he wants to. He can just crank up the pressure and go for some kind of 4-gate follow-up to this expansion. Definitely a possibility, and something we've seen a lot of times out of Protoss players in the past. But right now he is just chrono boosting out probes, and no real sign of him you know, pushing out that warp gate as fast as he can. So piling on the way down the low ground now, going to get ready to start walling off as Gam just starts up his queens, his first 3 queens on the way all at the same time. And again, I mean, his economy in this game is just going to absolutely be booming. I mean, there's what's going to stop him, because he's opened up free hatch before pool. He's opened up very, very greedily. There's nothing really to stop him at all here. So you know, unless Melancholy goes for some kind of aggression to try and slow him down a little bit, he's starting to start running away with this game in terms of the economy. And we do actually have 2 zealots heading across the map, so this could be a little something to start. Maybe pushing things in favour of Melancholy, maybe doing a little bit of damage, forcing a few more units out of Gamja instead of just pure drones. You know, anything he can do like that is going to be a small little victory for him here. So we do actually see 2 gateways going down. Are we going to see a 4th one added as well? Just these 3 gateways for now, as Overlord's going to get taken down by this sentry. Rotron already on the way down just as the first 2 gases are taken. So, I mean, Gamja's going to treat this seriously, very seriously in fact, in case some aggression does come towards him. I mean, the longer I see only 3 gateways here, the longer I kind of believe that they're probably only going to see in the end just a forge coming down and upgrade starting in some kind of tech path, probably the robotics facility, to continue on in this game. A lot of Lings actually going to end up going down. He has to be very careful of the mothership core. Gamja maybe should have pulled a few of them Lings back a little bit when they were a little bit more hurt. He has lost a fair few here. And Melancholy actually just drops the third base, so he's going to just go straight into this 3rd expansion. and double Stargate behind this as well. So he's going to go into some Void Rays here to try and hold off the whatever mid-game timing or whatever mid-game strategy Gamja goes for. Of course, with the double Stargate, he's going to be able to produce Phoenix very quickly should Gamja go into Mutalisks. But the main thing we're probably going to see out of these, unless we see something crazy like all of a sudden Phoenix production now straight away, or all of a sudden Oracle production, the main thing we will see is most likely just some Void Rays. Maybe not too strange if he makes 6-ish Phoenix still. They're still going to be useful. A couple of Oracles could be cool as well, could do some damage and will be good for some map presence. But in the end, I mean, if you invest into 2 Stargates, you're not just going to use them for the early units and nothing else. It's generally going to be something behind that too, and I have to expect at some point it's going to be Void Rays. And in fact, it's just going to be Void Rays right from the get-go, but this isn't going to be hidden from Gamja for all too long. In fact, he's already spotted it with one of his overlords here. He's seen this double Stargate, so he knows exactly what is up for his opponent. He knows what's happening. He's going to be able to play this out however he sees fit to do so, and react in whichever way he sees fit to do so either. And some ways we've seen players deal with this is to go into a lot of Queens. The way I feel Gamja may very well deal with it is to just go into Hydralisks very, very quickly here, and maybe go for some kind of Ling Hydra bust on his opponent's third base, kind of maybe at the 12-13 minute mark before he's really ready for that. And there's the Hydralisk den coming down just as the lair finishes, so still a possibility right here for Gamja to go for that kind of bust play in the mid game, go for a big attack once Groove Spines finishes all around that timing. So Void Ray on the way out has already got 1 kill on an overlord. It actually flies past another overlord here. Melancholy not paying as much attention as he maybe should. Even when it goes out of the Void Ray goes away, he can still see that overlord there. So Void Ray just on the overlord hunt right now. We actually see a fleet beacon and a forge coming down. Okay, well this is starting to get very exciting here as the second Void Ray starts up as well. But fleet beacon, what does that mean? Are we going to see Tempest? Are we going to see some kind of crazy carrier strategy? What are we going to see here out of Melancholy? Our Protoss player from Team Ascension, who has scored this fleet beacon 75% of the way done right now. He's got a forge as well, so I mean he's going to stick to building some ground units, as he adds in a couple of extra gateways also. Very important scout right now from Gamja, as this Overseer comes in completely free of charge. It's going to be carriers starting up in production. Gamja's going to see here that yes, there is a foot on overcharge, a fleet beacon down on the ground, so he's going to see this as Void Ray actually gets picked off by some Hydralisks. Another Void Ray coming in towards this fourth base, which is being established, but shouldn't be able to achieve too much. And Melancholy has to be careful, he has to back out of here, because here are the Hydras. This Overseer has gone down, but again, I mean, Gamja's been back in here. He now actually has seen carriers in production, so he knows exactly what he is playing against, and I feel right now he's probably just going to go into mass Hydralisks. Melancholy, his plan right now is probably to add on a ton of cannons with his spare minerals and to just produce pretty much just pure carrier from here on out. That being said, he's still investing into +1 ground upgrades. He's got a couple of Zealots which we just more warped in. A few more Zealots warped in too. So I mean, those Zealots are still going to be important. They're going to be useful for tanking any kind of incoming attack. But I mean, this is so many Hydralisks. A fair few sentries though. I mean, force fields will be an issue. The first 2 carriers are only just going to finish. Going to have to start building interceptors on them straight away. Some Lings come in as well, and these Lings are probably going to be the signal to attack here for Gamja. And where is he going to go? I mean, he's got an opportunity to come up into this natural expansion if he would like to. He's just going to take on this straight up fight right now. The first few interceptors are just nowhere near enough to really get that scary. These Hydras don't have too much to defend them though, and now they will try and peel off a little bit, but this is not the best of trades for Gamja right now. Actually, he's going to lose the majority of his army for no reason. Spire about to finish up here. And as the Spire finishes up, ooh, 6 Infestors on the way. Okay, so already Gamja feeling as though he knows what composition he wants to go for. His Spire's going to finish up, he's not going to have money to actually do anything. Melancholy actually on the counter attack right now. After taking out that initial little bit of a Hydra army from Gamja. Gamja with only 22 Lings and 8 Hydras on the way. That's not actually that much here, as this army is going to come in towards this 4th base. 2 Queens are going to turn around and try and fight this. I mean, the Infestors are going to be absolutely critical here. Patricking Glance has finished, so I mean they're going to pop out with Fungal Groves, and they're going to be a big game changer as this 4th base is under attack here. Hydra's coming forward, they're going to try and trade as best they can in this scenario. Here come the Infestors. How much damage are these Fungal Groves going to be able to do as these Hydras continue to chase forward here? They're going to go after the carriers maybe. There's the Fungal Grove, so one carrier is definitely going to go down. These 2 Void Rays as well also potentially as a lot of interceptors go down and a lot of DPS with them as that carrier does fall. And in the end here, actually, Gamja, he loses a base, but he's already almost got one re-established to the right-hand side. And yeah, I mean, overall, I don't think he's actually going to end up being I don't think Melancholy's going to be in that great of a position. He gets caught again here. He's going to lose another of his Void Greys. And now he's actually going to lose this carrier as well. Just if the last shot doesn't get it, actually. So the carrier gives him 12 health. So carrier survives for now. This another carrier is actually being misrallied kind of in the middle of the map. More Hydras are going to be able to pick this off pretty quickly. And Melancholy seems to be falling apart here already, as Gamja just seems to have the perfect composition immediately. As soon as Melancholy came out with units, Gamja just seemed to have this this composition ready, and now Gamja's actually heading towards this fourth base. He's going to look to shut this down very quickly, not going to let this be established at all. These Hydras moving in, they're going to take down these cannons before they even built, and well, cancel should be coming in, but he only gets a cancel on a couple of them here, and well, these Zealots, I mean, the army's coming forward here. Do we have Storm finished? No, so only feedback's available on these investors, basically. That's the only use of these templates. I guess, like, go into Archons afterwards. I mean, there's just truly too much DPS here. These Hydras, they need to move forward. They need to actually target fire here. Otherwise, they will just keep going on Interceptors, and Interceptors isn't what they want to be getting. They're going to get one more carry in. Melancholy will turn this away. He loses his fourth base, which isn't too important right now. But I mean, he just loses a lot in general. What's the resources lost like? It's actually a little bit worse for Gamja, so not trading so great, but he's actually got 5 bases up, and he's mining gas off of all of these, or at least he will be very soon as these 2 extractors come up here. This is, what you say, probably not what Melancholy was imagining at the start of this game. There's a couple more corruptors, a couple more spore crawlers coming in here. Hydra's continuing to come up here in the production tab. Another infestor coming in as well. Gamja doing such a good job of just retaining his important units here. I mean, he's only lost a single infestor throughout this entire game so far, and that's pretty crazy to keep them alive. They're one of the very important units here, which is really allowing him to engage multiple times. Carriers actually chasing now with these interceptors are a little bit annoying. Archons have to be careful, they're very far ahead of the rest of the army here. And the Zerg will make it back to the creep, and that will be the point at which he turns around and splits into a concave and decides he might want to try and fight this. The interceptors, of course, could be fungal growth as well. As Zerg play falling all the way back, he's got a few more reinforcements coming in that production tab. And he doesn't waste any time at all in turning around and putting the aggression back on his Protoss opponent, as he's actually going to intercept a carrier which is coming across here. Carrier takes a lot of damage already, and it may go down, gets fungal growth, so it will fall in the end here. Interceptors come out once again. Oh, huge fungal growth on a lot of these interceptors right now, and that will hold them in place for just a little while. Once again, our Zerg player just going to back off here. Gamja not wanting to overcommit to anything right now, as this army just come forward, and Melancholy actually just types GG. He doesn't even take the rest of the fight. He just feels that it's not going to work out for him, and I think he kind of already knew that, lost a little bit too much earlier in the game. And Gamja, well, he's shown us here today that IvD Gaming are not interested in getting too much of a worse map score overall. I mean, they're going to be on their plus 22 right now in map score. That means they've won 24 maps and lost 2. And right now, with them 2 maps wins as well, they're on 26-2. If Gamja can all kill, he would take them to 28-2. I mean, that's a possibility right now, as he's going to force the 3rd player out of Team Ascension. We'll find out who that is just after this quick commercial break, guys. So, a quick word from our sponsors, Zawi Gear. And when we're back, it'll be game number 3 between IvD Gaming and Team Ascension. Thank you for tuning in. This is the SC2 Improved Team League America, and I'm Wardy, bringing you all of the action here tonight. Hope you're enjoying the show. We'll be back very soon. See, guys, we're actually already in game, so without further ado, let's just jump into it. We're going to start with the Team Ascension player. The next player up from Team Ascension, as they are currently 0-2 down, can Biorize the pink Zerg player in the upper right-hand corner. Bring them back at least one map here. Going up in a ZVZ right now. It's red Zerg player IvD Gaming's Gamja on a 2-kill streak currently. So yeah, Gamja doing pretty good so far for IvD. I mean, as expected, he's such a scary player. And yeah, here we are waiting for this game to really get going. No early pools. Pool first just here for Gamja, not going to die to anything silly, it would seem. Kane Musney 56 in the chat asking about what the score was in Root versus Integrity Gaming earlier. In case you guys missed it, it was a Root victory, 4-2. Root Fenner took down a couple of the players from. Fenner took down I'm Eurotrash and Gemini. Then he lost to Honey Bear. Honey Bear also took down Caliber. Then Petreus came out for Root and finished things off. He took down Honey Bear and Panda Bear Me. So it was a pretty fun series, guys. The VOD will be up on YouTube hopefully tomorrow. I'm going to have a whole day just sorting through VODs tomorrow. So if you're interested in that, hopefully you'll get around to it. I've got a few to catch up on. So if not tomorrow, then definitely on Friday. The VOD will be up on youtube.com/SC2Improve. Not too much to note just yet still, I suppose, apart from the fact that this gas came down quite early for Bio Ice. It was a hatchery first, followed by the gas, followed by the pool here. So, there's the opportunity to maybe go for a bit of a link flood if you wanted. Again, I feel this is the best way to open if you do want a link flood. Gamja going to get all the information here, though, with his Overlord having his gun in the first correct direction at the start. Bio Ice as well gets to see the gas timing of his opponent too, so you'll know he'll have a much faster gas than his opponent here. And there's the speed coming up straight away. He stays in gas though, so he's going to go into the bin nest fairly quickly here. One would have to assume nothing else he could really do to with that gas so quickly, unless he goes for some kind of crazy mega fast lair or something kind of really ridiculous. Maybe a roach roar, and he could go for a roach bust, kind of a roach ling bust. That could be interesting, and definitely a possibility, I suppose. It's going to be the bin nest though. Pretty much the more standard way of doing things, of course. He'll just Ling Bane opening. Gamja over here just have his own Zergling speed now starting. He will have his own Bane nest starting in the next 20 gas. So yeah, Bio Ice actually does sneak in here. He doesn't yet actually see too much. And Gamja will throw his Bane nest down on the low ground in a position so that his queen can sneak in and be able to, have a little less surface area on him, so that if any lings come by, it'll be a little bit harder to actually pick off that queen. And that could prove to be very useful considering that Zergling speed's about to finish up over here for Bio Ice and his Bane nest too. However, an evolution chamber's on the way also. Just a single evolution chamber, and it looks as though for now he's not going to commit to anything all too great. Now from this Era chamber, I actually kind of expect Carapace to come out here. And there you have it, seeing Carapace on the way. It's become a more and more popular build as time kind of goes on. It will give you a lot of advantage in the kind of Ling Bling wars, and when you transition into roaches, while Carapace isn't the best upgrade for them, it's still quite useful. So it means that you can really commit to the Ling Bling wars a little bit more and really try and force some cancels on your opponent's third base, and that's what you're going to try and want to get out of this. You're going to want to try and get a little bit of a faster third base, trade a little bit better in the early game so you don't have to make quite as many lings as your opponent, so you can drone up a little bit more, and you're basically hoping that the cost of this upgrade early on is repaid by getting little advantages like that, and all of them adding up to give you generally a better advantage over your opponent. So Bio Ice right now is just making some balance because he has to, basically. Gamja has a pretty significant number of Zerglings coming across the map. We'll take the initial fight here. He had a bit of a better engagement there initially. A couple of lings do peel off ahead, and Balins will not go off on them. This will allow a whole scout of the base for Gamja, and he will come in here. He will see absolutely nothing really to be seen, actually. This third base is the most interesting thing to see, and that's seen by an Overlord. As Zerglings do retreat all the way back home, where there are already some Balins in position. Double Evolution Chimp going to come down here for Gamja, so it looks as though he's just building up towards his own Roach Roar in here. His lair's just finished, so maybe a Roach Roar and go into his Gladiator Constitution. His Spire actually comes down, and I guess with 4 gases that does make sense here. So he's going to go into the Spire play and maybe just melee upgrades, or maybe he's just going to start his missile upgrades anyway, so that once he comes out of this, ooh, nice connection there from Bio Ice actually. Once he comes out of this, Mutalisk phase, he's already going to have really good roach upgrades, so definitely a possibility. These units just sticking around a little bit. Gamja's still okay up here. He's got Spineclaw, he's got plenty of Banelings, 7 in total, so he's got more than enough to truly hold on, and a couple of lings trying to get by here for Bio Ice, but not really able to achieve all too much. His third base is up. I mean, much faster than Gamja's, but his lair is very far behind. It's actually going to be melee upgrades from Gamja, which, I mean, it would make sense if he wants to play, you know, Mutaling. I really did think he was just going to commit towards the kind of option to just start building into his roaches, but that may suggest that he will commit into Mutalisks a little bit more so. In fairness, he has got quite a lot of lings out, and he will be looking to try and cancel this third base with this, you know, with these many lings. BioIce does have a fair few lings of his own. It's all going to come down to, you know, how many banelings are you able to claim. Ooh, I think Gamja realised that that was a mistake to have all of them banelings there. And takes quite a lot of damage on quite a few of them. And he actually decides that's a good enough reason to just pull them back for now. And doesn't actually commit too much further. He's 1-1 about just over halfway done. Muta's just on the way out now as well. So, I mean, everything's going to start coming together at about the same time for Gamja, as these lings are actually going to go into the main base. But is this just a trap? Oh, the first Bane hit is huge. And the Mutas now come out, and these lings are not going to achieve anything at all. And this is not good for BioIce, surely, here. Not good for him at all, surely, because he's not done anything at all. Not a single worker killed. He just lost a load of lings for absolutely no reason. He's gained nothing from it. And, well, a couple of bins coming towards this third base, but there's nothing here. Mutas are going to clean this up, and now we've got a lot of overlords actually out on the map for BioIce. He's going to start losing these. He's going to have to remake them. He's not started them just yet. 7 spore crawlers on the way instead. And, well, he's going to get very heavily supplied block, which is not good when you've just lost all of your Zerglings, and now you're being overrun at your third base. This third base looking as though it will fall. 1-1 on these Zerglings, and then, well, +1 carapace on these roaches, but not +1 missile attacks, just not yet, just for a few more moments. A lot more roaches continue to come out, but Gamja continue to attack forward here. The supplies have completely switched around in the last minute or so. Gonna lose this spore crawler, and that means this third base is completely open to attack from these Mutas for a lot longer. And the Ling's just going to fall back now. Wait for some more reinforcements. 22 more on the way in the production tab. The Lings are going to trap these roaches so that the Mutas can do the damage from above. And it looks as though all of these roaches will end up just dying off. And that's more army just dying here from BioIce. Not really achieving much at all. As more Zerglings come in once again. Where are they going to go? Just towards the third base. You know, the faster he gets rid of that, I guess, the better. As some Lings are left chasing these roaches down towards the southward direction. Another spore crawler coming in. It should be dealt with pretty quickly by the Zerglings. They're going to try and stick on this third base for a little bit longer actually here, as these Mutas need to be careful. He is careful with them. Roaches from BioIce trying to get across the map to just force a counter attack, try and do a little bit damage, try and force some Mutas to come back home. And I mean, the Mutas are chasing them. These roaches have escaped down to the bottom side, so this third base for Gamja will be under a little bit of an attack, but he's continuing to push these roaches in the middle of the map all the way back, even with just some Zerglings here. So altogether, I mean, at the end of this, amazingly, they come out pretty even in supply. Gamja has a ton of money left to spend. He's started his roach upgrades now. He keeps his third base alive, so Gamja actually, I think, comes out ahead of this overall, because now he just goes into roaches, and we know he's actually got a better economy, and altogether that will just add up towards him being able to, pretty much, he's just going to be able to come in and overwhelm his opponent in a couple of minutes once that economy's really kicked in, and once the lack of economy from BioIce has. So, you know, Gamja, I feel, playing this nicely right now. Just another couple of Lings coming in. They will not get that spore crawler. Just surviving there with the last of his HP. But I mean, there's actually Lings all over the place. There's Lings in the main base, there's Lings in the natural, and Gamja is just shredding through these units of his opponent. He doesn't care. He's just taking down absolutely everything. And you know, I said the economy was in tatters before for BioIce. Now it really is. So only 21 workers altogether left in this game, and he's still just making roaches. He's just going to try and base trade. But I mean, the Mutas eventually will clean this up. I mean, these Zerglings are going to get dealt with eventually as well. These Zerglings still just going for it on these drones. A couple of Zerglings peeled away for the Queen as well, and a couple. Oh, he just doesn't get the last couple of kills there. But 58 drones to 16 in the main base and natural here. I mean, these roaches are doing a good job. They are cleaning out the drones. They're doing some counter damage. But it's just too little, too late. The Mutas will clean this up eventually. The Zerglings, which keep coming out, will help as well. We actually have spine calls coming up at the third base just to make sure he's going to be able to hold if it comes to it. And I mean, he's cleaned up the natural already. He's going to clean up the rest of the main base, and now he's going to see the roaches coming in from his opponent towards his third base as well, and he's going to be able to position very easily. A couple more roaches into the natural. Mutas should be here in just a matter of seconds to deal with this. These roaches can't do anything against this number of spine crawlers, and Gamja actually holds double the supply of his opponent right now. A pretty significant lead, and it looks as though IvD Gamja will take IvD onto match point in only 50 minutes. of this best of 7 all-kill clan war. He's going for an all-kill here today, it would seem. And right now we're just waiting for BioIce to decide that yes, the game is definitely over. A little bit of a lingering by going to try and do a little bit on the other side of the map. Gamja going into his own roaches now, and I mean that's going to be the nail in the coffin. You can't fight against your own roaches. Like, you can't fight against roaches of Gamja when he's got more economy. He's just going to have more roaches. He's actually going to be at a upgrade lead because he's 1-2 instead of 1-1. You know, overall here, with the meters in the sky as well, everything just favours Gamja and BioIce again. It's just a matter of time until he realises this and decides to tap on out and to let the final player come out here for Team Ascension. One player remaining. One player stands in the way of IvD and a secured place in the playoffs. Not that anyone's really doubting whether they will make it. You know, whether they will make it at all. You know, I think a lot of people are saying, you know, IvD, of course they're going to make it, but really just if they can secure it with a 7-0 scoreline so far, with 2 matches left to play, I mean, that's just a phenomenal performance all round. So, I mean, I guess it's match point for IvD. And we're going to see how it goes in game number 4. And once again, guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break before we go into that. If you're enjoying the show, hit the follow button so you can check out the stream again in the future. And shout out to anyone who has hit that in the last few minutes. In fact, Nightmare1818 has hit the follow button. So thank you very much, Nightmare. And anyone else checking the phone, checking the... we do have Qualia SC and Dante 10K have also hit the follow button. So thank you guys for the follows. Glad you're enjoying the show. And we will be back here in 3 minutes time with some more SC2 Improved Team League America. IvD vs Ascension goes to game number 4, and Gamja looks to complete his all-kill and the series for IvD. I hit the mute button too many times. Alright guys, welcome back to SC2 Improved Team League America. ZVZ could very well be the way we end tonight as Psycho comes out as the final player from Team Ascension. Gamja on the verge of an all-kill. Let's go into Catalina here to just maybe even finish things off. Sometimes I wonder why we even have the map veto system in place. It seems like every single series we see it goes Overgrowth, King Sejong, Merry-Go-Round, Catalina, and then if the other maps are needed, kind of a toss-up, probably usually Nimbus / Deadwing, and then Foxtrot is always last. It's pretty crazy. So Psycho here. Have I introduced our players? I don't think I did. In the 9 o'clock position, we have our orange Zerg player from Team Ascension. It's Psycho. He's opening up with a hatch gas pool, it would seem. And Gamja on the other side of the map is doing just the same thing. He's the blue Zerg player from IvD Gaming, of course. And I mean, he's just getting set up here, ready to maybe complete his all-kill. I mean, again, it's not a surprise to see IvD potentially all-killing. In fact, I'm just going to take a quick moment here to just check which teams have actually taken a map of IvD, because again, before today they were 24-2 in maps. 24-2, that's insane. So yeah, they all killed Rebirth Esports, they all killed Solaris Gaming, they dropped a map to Immortals Esports, they dropped a map to Dust Gaming, and then they all killed Deadly Gaming and IF Gaming, and they're about to maybe even all kill Team Ascension, and then they've only got Seed and Micro Gamers Academy left. So I mean I don't even know really what to tell you guys. I mean, this team is literally unstoppable, and and I mean, there's a couple of links actually coming in here for Gamja to scout initially. Both players, by the way, have met bulk boost on the way, and both players looking as though they're just going into further gas mine. It looks as though Gamja hasn't pulled out at all, but it looks as though Psycho did. Now I've actually completely lost track of what I was saying. Oh yeah, so Gamja on the verge of all killing Team Ascension. Like I was saying in the chat before, like one of our donation goals is to set up the winners of SC2ITL America against one of the SC2 Improved Team League champions, which could be Mind Sanity or AT Gaming. You know, I may just try and set that up anyway, because in all honesty, I mean, yeah, really, in all honesty, like, it's kind of crazy how it's kind of crazy how well they do in a team league in America. It'd be interesting to see how well they would fare against Mind70 or against AT Gaming. So, oh my God, Fear Dragon, you literally just gave me the shock of my life. Saying I'm muted in the chat, and I wasn't. I had a mini heart attack. Anyway, let's actually talk about this game. We're 7 minutes in, and Gamja's actually got a roach rolling down, and with a bunch of roaches on the way, it looks as though he wants to go for a Ling roach roll in. You know, there's no sign of a lair for him, unlike for Psycho. Lair +1 on the way. You know, he's aiming for the mid games. Gamja wants none of that. He wants to end this game soon. He wants to end this game in the next few minutes here, even. Like, his roaches are out. He's going to look at this, push the first overlord away so that Psycho can't spot this for as long as possible. His own overlord is chasing, so he gets high ground vision to finish it off. And it does go down here. I actually don't think he realizes it's gone down. He actually doesn't know it's gone down. That's quite funny. Another overlord is going to spot this in just a second. Let's see what Psycho's reaction is as he comes in here. So he should be watching that overlord on his minimap, but it doesn't look as though he's paying attention at all. He hasn't seen them roaches, and that's absolutely huge. He's got no idea this is coming his way, and Psycho, a lapse of concentration for a moment. Now he sees a bunch of Lings on his overlord. Does he react to this? No, he's just putting a third base down. He's got no idea. He still doesn't see it. It's right outside his natural. Now he sees a load of roaches and... Oh, Psycho. I mean, he just hasn't seen this for way too long, and he's just not going to have time for his +1 to kick in, and there's just more roaches for Gamja. There's Lings to tank for Gamja. I mean, drones have to come off the line. Psycho has more workers, but they're going to fall pretty quickly here once the units have fallen, and you can see Gamja, he knows what kind of fight he needs to take, and he's just making sure he takes the correct fight here. As he's just pulling back, making sure he just takes some shots on this hatchery, starts to work it down. He has the smell of an orc hill in his sight. He can see it, he can imagine it, he can imagine the joy of orc hill and Team Ascension here, but he's actually being turned around right now. It looks as though all of a sudden Psycho's got a lot more roaches than Gamja was maybe anticipating. Gamja behind us, Lair on the way, and an evolution chamber for +1, so he's not completely all in on this. He's got a backup plan, and oh, look at this, what a cute little move. Pulls the Lings away, hides them for a second, and immediately counter-attacking into the natural as Psycho leaves. Like, this is so perfect. There's nothing here for Psycho. He's got nothing to defend at all. Nothing at all. He's going to lose already a queen and now some more drones. What a fantastic little play by Gamjan. I mean, he's still in a little bit of trouble, actually. I mean, this army's coming across the map, but what a fab little play to try and buy him some time. +1's not finished just yet for Gamjan. This is actually a little bit of a better situation right now for Psycho. I actually thought he was definitely dead. But, I mean, it looks as though he just got enough roaches out just in time. And, I mean, he was already kind of building some roaches. He already had some roaches when the roaches of Gamja came, even though he hadn't even seen them. And Gamja here, I mean, he's turning this around for now. I'm not sure if Psycho could fight forward. I don't think he could. I mean, if we look at this, this was what? 2.5 rows of roaches, 20 roaches against 18 roaches, and they do have +1, but you've got to consider it's a defender's advantage. You know, he's got a spine crawler, he's going to be able to pull in reinforcements a lot faster. Probably a smart idea actually for Psycho to just fall back and start taking his third base, but Gamja, how does he have a third base up himself? How does he already have this up and running? I'm completely clueless, actually. As an overseer getting turned away here, Gamja just flying off with this, and I mean, Psycho will just I mean, he sees another huge wave of roaches coming forward here. Gamja with +1 just finishing. The upgrades are even right now. And, I mean, it looks as though Gamja's thinking about going in, but he doesn't actually want to commit too much. He has 9 workers ahead. He's got, you know, whatever he does, he just seems to end up in the end with an advantage. And look at this. He's using these main roaches as a distraction to sneak some other roaches off and away. But he doesn't actually commit all the way forward because he knows that they've been seen. So he knows he's just got to wait for a little while. But he's always just preparing. He's always giving himself opportunities to go in for a counterattack, to, you know, to gain an advantage in some way. And there's these cute little things that just make him absolutely, like, unimaginably good right now. Roach is coming forward here. And now and now moving back. I mean, Psycho's just sitting in a defensive position. Both players are +2 on the way. It's just going to be Roach Wars for a little while in this game. And honestly, after everything that's happened, I'm surprised we've kind of stabilized. Psycho's got his own he's got his own drone count up now. He will still trail here in terms of army supply, and that's simply because he's just not had as good of an economy as Gamja. He's actually 20 army supply down. Gamja positioning once again. I mean, he does have defender's advantage, so Gamja shouldn't be able to end this. You know, the one thing Gamja could probably do if he wanted to take advantage, if he knew he had an advantage, would be to actually just potentially, he's going to actually commit all the way into the natural here. I'm not too sure about this. Who's +2 finishes first? It's actually going to be Psychos, but not just yet. He's going to take a much better fight on the bottom of this ramp, however, he will start taking damage from roaches, which are already in his natural. Now it's actually Gamja with a little bit of a better concave. Psycho's going to even that up in just a matter of seconds, though. Roaches popping out all over the place. He can't actually get up the ramp to defend his natural, which is under attack here. Gamja and Psycho both reinforcing. +2 is going to finish up in 3, 2, 1, and this is going to make this a much different fight here. Psycho hasn't really lost all that too many drones just yet. He's going to finish off the rest of these roaches, and he might have himself a big opportunity to counterattack right now if he cleans out these last few roaches very, very quickly. These blue roaches, these roaches coming in, and they will get taken down. So everything getting cleaned up here. Psycho moving away, and will come out of the space and just head across the map for the counterattack. And look at the army supply advantage. Gamja has really messed up. He's really made a mistake. That was a huge mistake. He shouldn't have committed so far forward. He's ended up in a really bad situation. He's lost the entirety of his army. He's tried to remax, but his economy just wasn't that good. That being said, Psycho has to win now. You know, he doesn't have another opportunity after this. He has to come in here and win right now. It's 2-1 against 2-0. He comes in, he's got more roaches. Defender's advantage will be in favour of Gamja. Can he hold on with less supply? He's going to lose his spine caller here in a second. He's been transfusing it to try and keep it alive, and he's actually just being overrun. Psycho keeps on moving forward. He's going to take out some more roaches. He's got the concave thanks to this ramp once again. Gamja, can he keep on holding? He's got 15 roaches on the way out. 15 roaches actually might be all he needs. He can afford to lose some drones as well. 15 roaches, 5 of them out, 10 more still on the way. Is it just not going to be in time? It might not be. Gamja seems to just not have enough money anymore. A few more roaches added onto the production tab right here, but still it's just not enough, and Psycho's actually going to do this. He's actually going to stop the all-kill. He's going to put Ascension on the scoreboard, and IvD are going to take their 3rd map loss of the season. And wow, it's kind of a weird game. I thought Gamja had it at points, but that decision to go up the ramp was not the decision it just wasn't the correct decision at all. And I mean, just like that, excuse me a second, let me update the scoreboard, and we'll put it live, put the screen back up, there we go. Yeah, I wasn't expecting it at all, really, like, wow. I mean, what a game. And Psycho puts he puts them onto the board here. GG, well played. Deadwing, Foxtrot and Nimbus remaining maps now, as we'll look for game number 5. And a game number 5 which honestly I think I'd convinced myself in my head we weren't going to see it. I thought Ascension were down and out for the count, and I think IvD did too, because all the IvD players have actually disappeared from the chat. It's just the manager and Gamja still in here, despite the fact that there was a few other guys in here earlier as well. So, I mean, what did IvD do? Did they just say, you know what, screw you guys, Apocalypse, come finish this off now? Did they play Fog maybe? Did they bring out Puck? I mean, definitely a possibility as well. Good news if you're an IvD fan and you want to see more of their players play than just Gamja here today. Bad news, great news if you're an Ascension fan as well, and you want Ascension to maybe make a comeback and Psycho to make a comeback here. Great news all around, I guess, because you get to see more of both of these teams after this quick commercial break. We'll be heading into game number 5, guys, so don't go too far. Because, I mean, if Psycho can take down Gamja, God knows what else he can do. Shout out to all you guys who hit the follow button in that last game. Pie Muncher, Kyle Musney 56, and Hero Tyson SC. Thank you guys for your follows. And again, if you do hit that follow button, guys, you can see when we go live again in the future. It's one of the most important things you can do to us, because if you follow us, you have more of an opportunity to see when we're live again, and that means you're more likely to come back and check it out again in the future. So, guys, stay tuned. 3 minutes time, we're back with SC2 Improved Team League America Season 1, IvD versus Ascension. The next game will be live, and I assume it's going to be pretty good. That's all I can say. App announcement came at just the wrong time, just as the song ended. Very exciting news. We've got Puck coming out here in this next game. I can't invite him, so let me just so I can't invite him, so it's just got dying to
We're here in sunny Ibiza with First Choice.
What's this stupid ad? What's a Twitch ad? My own stream, just trolling me. So I've given Dine host, so hopefully we'll get Puck in here in a second. I don't know if I actually said that just yet. We're gonna have Puck here coming out as the next player. Okay, so he's just glitched now. So we've got a couple of moments here, guys, before we get into the game. So it will be Puck. So just trying to type out a tweet very quickly. IvD Puck, is that his Twitter? I don't know if he's even got. What is Twitter? Puck SC2, there we go. First Psycho for game 5. HGP Twitch TV. Excuse me, guys. So we're tweeting on the job. Alright, okay, so here we are. We've got Puck coming out here to make this a PvZ against Psycho. And we're going into this in just a few moments' time. We're loading up right now. It's going to be Deadwing our map for this 5th game. And let's just go in game right now. Why not? Let's just watch this load screen. You can watch me set up the well, you know what I'm trying to say. So let me just make sure we get set up here. It's currently 3-1, and we're all set to go. So let's go into this game. It's Puck versus Psycho. In the lower left-hand corner is Psycho, the orange Zerg player from Team Ascension. He did take that last map off of Gamja. I mean, this is just how scary a team IvD gaming are, right? Like, Gamja, he's just looked unstoppable more or less for 3 maps, and then, you know, he had a bit of a fault in game number 4. And he fell to Psycho. He just played it out calmly. You know, he's very calm and collected, and he made the right decisions. And he took advantage of Gamja's mistakes. And you know, for all his hard work, Psycho is rewarded with playing arguably an even stronger player in Puck. And well, I mean, it's Puck. What more can you say? This guy has just got better and better and better over time. He's one of the will be I've completely lost my trail of thought. I know the screen's gone. This is one of those moments where I'm like, let's just pretend we didn't ever go in game yet. So in the lower left hand corner we have the orange Zerg player, Psycho. What is going on in this chat? You spawn horizontal, you can only spawn in middle locations. Oh, okay. And another left-hand corner, the Red Bros player, IvD Gaming. As we do start up here. We haven't had IvD versus Root yet, the Dish Daddy, because IvD and Root are in different groups, so maybe in the playoffs. Maybe in the playoffs these guys will meet. It would have to be in the finals right now, because they will end up on opposite sides of the brackets if things stay as they are, which would be, which is if both teams finish in first place. So could be interesting. We have Puck with his just going to be a gateway expand here, nice and simple. And wow, free hatch before pool for Psycho, free hatch gas before pool for Psycho. So really going for it here, being as greedy as he can. And at the start of this game, Overlord is heading upwards along this along the map, northbound, and Schloopy's probe here. I for some reason I was like, oh, this is Schloopy the probe. No, Puck's probe here is coming southwards. What, southwards? What? Oh my god, this is just like, what has happened to me? Between game 4 and 5, someone must have like shot my brain with kind of like a numbing material, because like I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Puck comes in here, he actually misses this initial, this third hatchery, so he doesn't know it's a free hatch before pool just yet. I guess he will be able to kind of, well, maybe. I mean, he sees the pool down, he sees no queen. I think that's the big tell here, seeing no queen, and he's actually already got a stalker on this side of the map, so this is actually going to work out quite well for him. He's going to get a lot of damage done here. In fact, Psycho's going to end up losing an Overlord already. This Overlord going to go down and very, very quickly, and that's actually going to be a very big supply block early on in this game. Stalker and Probe both just going to get out of there. No reason to stick around. Another Overlord over here, and this Stalker could maybe just move in for the kill on that if it gets there in time. Is he going to risk it? No, I don't think he is. I think he's going to make sure he's back home safely. But, I mean, imagine another Overlord goes down. That would be another supply block, and all of a sudden, boom, Psycho's in a lot of trouble again. And, ooh, he's actually going to catch it, so he is going to get this here. And just as he gets unsupply blocked, he's, boom, supply blocked once more. And well, that's definitely not the start that Psycho would have been looking for here. There's 2 more gateways and a forge come down for Puck. A few lings coming up. And they may try and break through, but I mean, a couple of, Mothership Core plus 2 Stalkers, 3 Stalkers in fact, should be more than enough here to just turn this away completely, and these Zerglings will have to turn away. And, yeah, there we go, these Zerglings do move away. So, someone that just said something in the chat, which kind of reminded me, I think, of what I was trying to say earlier, which is Puck is, like, damn good. Like, he went to Red Bull NA, and he kind of, you know, everyone was like, oh, let's pick on Puck, and he won 3 matches and lost 3 matches or something, which unfortunately put him out on the first day. But I mean, he was taking down players like Violet, he was pulling his weight against Scarlet. It was, you know, he's played really well, and I'm not sure if he's going to Detroit, Red Bull Detroit this weekend, or what he's doing, but, you know, whenever I see Puck, he's one of them guys who, you know, I wouldn't usually be interested in, but lately, he's made a name for himself, a name where I would start looking into him a bit more if I saw him play in a tournament, where I would make a point of watching his games a little bit more so than I used to, at least. So, Puck right now, you know, he's just heading into Twilight Council, probably just going to head into towards the third base with +2 and Blink. I mean, it's just so common for Protoss to do this against in PvZ right now. I mean, why wouldn't you? You know, you've got absolutely nothing to lose. So just go for it. I mean, +2 Blink, it's great against muter switches. It's great for holding your third base. You can transition into your Colossi behind this. And Psycho hitting another supply block there for just a second. Now he's actually got 4 Overlords on the way at a time, so he's not going to be supply blocked for a little while from this point on. Hydrate Den on the way up, so it's just going to be Link Hydrate, it would seem, the start of this game, and maybe into either a Swarm Host or potentially a Mutalist switch afterwards. I mean, sticking on Link Hydra is never going to be a good thing. You never want to really stick on one composition in ZVP. You want to be tech switching, catching your opponent off guard, unless you go into Mass Muter Corruptor. You know, then you don't want to tech switch out of that, obviously. But you know, in the mid game, you want to build up an army where you can fight against all ins and put on a bit of pressure. What is this? The sentry's warping in. This is so weird. Is he just gonna go for like a big blink all in? This is so weird. This is like some crazy pressure. I mean, he's not even on that many gateways. He's only on 1, 2, 3, 4 gateways in total, right? Right? Is he? 5 gateways in total, plus 2 blink. I mean, DT's trying to robo facility behind this. Oh my god. Okay, if this has been used in some kind of pro game and I've just missed it completely up until now, then god, I'm gonna look stupid. But this is sick. Look at this abusive positioning. He's got 3 cannons on this high ground to reinforce with. This is actually just insanely abusive. Really. You know, I really haven't been able to watch as much StarCraft as I would have liked lately. And this is something I've definitely not seen on this map yet. And yet, this is just, like, insanely abusive. It really is. But Puck not paying attention for a second. And, you know, well, he's Protoss, so he can just recall out of there, just like that. So, away goes Puck back to his base, back to his third base, which is being established. Blink, plus 2. And now he's still got these pylon here for his Dark Shrine to come into play. So he's going to be able to utilize the Dark Temple in just a moment. There is some overseers with the army, but once the army moves out, Dark Templar are going to be just what he needs to come in here and cause a little bit of havoc in the base of Psycho. I mean, that Dark Shrine has completed here, and he's just going to wait a little bit. As soon as he gets, I think, as soon as he gets a hint that the army isn't in position, I think he's going to warp in DTs and just go for it. And the DT counterattack could do a lot of damage, as the wall-off is completed on the high ground here. And I'd be surprised if this was able to do too much, especially with force fields available to him. There's a couple of force fields coming down here, so blocking off a lot of these initial Hydralisks. Plus 2 is about to finish here, so once plus 2 finishes, this will be a much different fight. These Zerglings really not adding anything at all here, so despite being ahead in army supply, the effective army supply in this fight is not that great for Psycho as he continues to try and push on up this ramp. Some more gateways, of course, at the front here. Will finish up very soon. There's the third base finishing. Front one overcharge will now come out to add a little bit of extra DPS. Looks as though Puck's going to fall back here. He's a little bit wary about how far forward he wants to commit. He's being very smart about this. You know, he's not going to overcommit unless he, you know, at all. And he's actually got DTs out now and starting to do some damage. Where are the overseers gone? Has he lost the overseers? Yeah, he's lost the overseers. He's going to have to morph in some new ones. So the DT's being the savior here in the end. First Colossus is now on the way out. So Puck, you know, he's going to stabilize here. And that's all you had to do. You just had to hold on for a little while. And then he's going to just end up in this pretty fantastic position. We still just see Ling Hydra on the way out here for our Zerg player. No other tech on the way out. He's going into Roach ones. He's kind of going to go into Ling Roach Hydra. And, I mean, he's going to go into Ling Roach Hydra and, he's going to have this kind of mid-game composition which isn't so great unless you can, you know, he starts to put down an infestation pit now and starts to head into Hive so you can get some Vipers out to kind of help with abducts against Colossi. Like, plus 3's on the way. We've got our first Colossus now popping out. Second Colossus is going to be on the way almost immediately, I would assume. Extra gateways coming down as well. I mean, he may just maybe push across the map and try and end this. I guess maybe not. He's only going up to 10 gateways in total, so I guess it's not that many. He's still got this kind of mega he's still got this kind of mega cannon warping point here to use. And a couple of extractors going to come down here at the 4th base, and an overseer going to head out across the map. Going to be looking to maybe get a little bit of a scout down. Pathogen glands on the way, so we actually have an infestation pit come in to the game. Hive's going to start coming up as well. That's a lair. Buddy, that's not your hive. Psycho, that's not your hive. That would be really bad if he really thinks that's his hive, because that's not his hive. That's a lair. In the worst way possible, on the best way possible, I kind of hope Psycho loses now, so that he doesn't end up kicking himself later, because he thought he'd built a hive when he's actually building a lair. Maybe. I mean, Psycho just doesn't really have an army to deal with this. Surely, plus 3's halfway done. Colossus Ranger is about to come in here. Archon going to add a lot of tankiness as well. Puck realizing, no, thinking he can't actually take this just yet, so he just recalls. Could he have taken it? Could he not have? Well, you know, why take it when he's going to have plus 3 in a few minutes time? You know, why risk it when he doesn't have to? Our Zerg player looking as though he might come in towards this base again. There's a gap in the wall right now. Puck's getting ready to move towards his own 4th base. And now here we go. Psycho coming up this ramp. Going to go for a couple of them cannons. And Puck thinking about how exactly he wants to engage this right now. He does have a lot of forces available first few force fields don't really trap as much as he probably could have afforded to. And look at this, some Blink Stalkers actually coming in terms of defense, but this map is so quick to move across, and you can see that. I mean, immediately here, you know, we actually have Psycho back across the map, ready to defend, and well, I think Puck's going to lose these cannons and these pylons now. He's going to get quite a lot out of it. Oh my god, he's actually going to get rid of the overseers again. He's going to warp in DTs. He's actually going to warp in DTs. They're going to go straight towards the main base. Has Psycho spotted it? I think he has, because he's chasing them, but he doesn't have overseers anymore. He needs overseers. He's not making any. He's got a single spore crawler, and it's not going to be enough. He's not going to get it in time. DTs are going to start picking away at his economy, and oh my god, as Psycho tries to get a base to the top right, DTs are going to just start picking away at whatever they can. DT in the third base, DT in the natural. Overseers only just now going to finish up. One of them, there we go, one DT cleaned up. The other one's still doing some damage. He's picked off the queen here. And gets the Zerglin as well. And Puck's still thinking about moving out here. He is now maxed out, so he's got +3. He's got Storm on the way, so the only thing he can possibly be waiting for now is Storm. And this new 5th base of Psycho has been established in this top right corner. Not sure how effective that will be right now. As Psycho's got a pretty decent bank on him, 2.67k, 1k. Puck has a lot of possibilities to reinforce from though. I mean, he's already on 11 gateways with 3 more coming online, 4 more in total, so that's like 15 gateways. His kind of late game production is now up here, and it's going to be Roach Hydra Corrupt. It's such an old school composition from Psycho to try and close out this game. Is it going to work? Puck's got these Stalkers from earlier. He's actually kept them alive, and he's going to be able to come in and harass a little bit more here if he would like to. And I mean, Storm's about to finish up. Once Storm finishes, surely there's no way for Psycho to take this fight. Surely there's no way for him to finish this off. I really don't think there is. As I think the Storm's just going to be way too much. As here we go, force fields come down and the Storms start to land on these Corruptors to help take them down a little bit faster. Not that many Storms available, just the initial 2, but I mean the Colossi, they stay alive long enough here to just you know, clean up the majority of this Roach Hydra. And once the majority of the Roach Hydra is down, the Stalkers will just clean up the rest of the Corruptors, which means he's free to rebuild Colossi. That's just these Corruptors are now just dead weight kind of in this army. Psycho actually surviving a little bit longer as Puck begins to establish a 5th base to the left hand side. Blinks up to the high ground now. What do you use for high ground vision? This Stalker? Wow, I mean, he just knows this map inside out. The things he's been doing on this map are just absolutely insane here. As these Stalkers do just blink away, and he's going to keep them alive. And Puck, what is this? We're seeing mass Stalker now moving forward. Is there going to be enough for Roach Hydra? Because right now it just looks like kind of pure Roaches with 2-1 upgrades and some dead weight in Corruptors. I mean, it doesn't look the best right now. These Stalkers blink back up. There's some Infestors here to back this up, so this could be good. I mean, Fungal Growth could be nice, and here we go. We're just going to see a big fight. Nice force field is actually going to block these Infestors from really getting in as close as they maybe would have liked altogether. The Storm in a bit of a questionable position. Maybe would have been better on top of the Infested 10s to just help clean it out. As, you know, Puck's going to continue fighting here, and these, Infestors kind of walk into their death. Not the best Infestor control out of Psycho, and it looks as though Puck in the end here will break him. Coming on forward, he will take down these Roaches, he will take down this Queen. I mean, this is pretty much it. There's nothing else left to say. Puck is going to be the winner, and he will secure the series for IvD. But what a fight from Psycho in the end here. Takes down Gamja, puts up a really good fight against Puck, and Puck takes it in the end. But there was definitely some scary moments for him in that map. But, I mean, again, that positioning, he just showed us what a fantastic player he is. Some really cool tricks out of him, some really innovative little plays, and great multitasking and army control throughout. Never really took a fight he couldn't take on. And, well, that was it. Game over. I think still maybe... Boblacon actually just makes a really good point in the chat. Maybe he was trying to get Broodlords and he didn't actually have the Hive to make the Greater Spire. But again, I mean, it looked as though he was just quite happy to engage with Roach Hydra Corruptor, so really hard to say. Guys, I'm going to tune off very quickly because it is 25 to 4 in the morning here, so I need to go get myself some sleep because I'm running a big qualifier tomorrow for our EU tournament. So I'm going to go get myself some sleep. I want to thank you all for tuning in. I want to, of course, thank our sponsors, Zowie Gear and Let's Kung Fu. I'll put links for everything in the chat, so do make sure to check it out. If you've got a few minutes after the stream, if you want to stick around, say hello, I will stick around in the chat for 5 minutes or so. We will run some ads on the outro, guys, so you know, do stick around if you've and unblock us from AdBlock if you want to support us. It's the easiest way to support us. It's very easy for you to do, and it's completely free for you to do, apart from taking a bit of your time and a little bit of annoyance with the ads. So yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to say. Congratulations to IvD, another win here. They secure their place in the playoffs for the season 1 of SC2ITL America, and commiserations to Team Ascension. But a big shout out to Psycho, who put on some fantastic couple of games there at the end, really kind of bringing us a bit more excitement to the series, which we didn't really think we were going to see. So guys, that's again it from me, Wardy. Hope 2 great games tonight. Root versus Integrity was fab. IvD versus Ascension was pretty darn good as well. And again, if you've enjoyed the stream, hit the follow button. If you want to check us out on our website, sc2improve.net, or check us out on Twitter at sc2_improve. If you've missed any of the games, we'll be uploading them all to YouTube over the next couple of days at youtube.com/sc2improve. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. Have a good night, guys, and I'll see you all tomorrow if you're going to tune in to whatever we cast tomorrow. So guys, thanks for tuning in, and yeah, have a good night.